Okay, this is part 2 in our series of videos about using the menus over here. The last one we covered all the way down to settings. The next one is called batch request. And actually in the previous video I actually demonstrated this one because it had to do with something in the settings where you set up your APIs with GoDaddy and these other registrars. And see, it says here it's pending. So that means I'm waiting for it to run on our batch servers. So basically, what is a sync request? A sync request is when you want to synchronize your domains on our website with GoDaddy, NameSilo, and Namecheap. We can add others in the future. We tried CloudFront or Cloudflare, but their API didn't have good enough security, to be honest. I was rather shocked at their lack of security, so we didn't use that one. The next one is AI blog. Okay, so here, this is where you want to write a blog. You just click this button, you fill in what kind of blog you want, you click it and hit save, and again, it's going to go off to our backend servers and it will write the blog probably in 5 or 10 minutes or less, and then you come back and you can see your blog and you can get a link to where the blog is and go check it out. The next one is blog image replace. So normally the AI does a good job with the images, and of course we give you a prompt where you can put what you want for the image, but sometimes it just creates goofy pictures, right? So you can go and say, I want to replace the image from another blog that we did earlier. Okay, that's what that one is. Blog auto suggest is when you want to lay out a series of blogs like over a period of days, weeks, months or so, or you have a new website and you just want to create like 20 blogs for it immediately. So you can do build suggest here, you pick your website, and we will use things like the topics that are already on the website. We use the about us, the categories, and whatever blog titles you already have. And we call an AI interactively, and it'll come back with a list of suggested blogs. You can choose some of them or all of them or whatever, and then say submit them, and then they will basically they will run right away, but they'll have the future date set. So here you can say schedule for daily, weekly, monthly, or for example, every 5 days. So I only want to blog every 5 days on this website starting on March 3rd this year, March 3rd, 2026. Okay. Anyway, again, the purpose of this video is really to show you the menus and the breadth of our system, not the details of each and every screen. The next one is AI blog blockers. So suppose you want to do a blog on this website. Well, that website's currently down, white screen of death. What that means is we go to the website and we just get a white screen back. If you want to see that, we'll just try it. Over here, click visit site. We'll see if it's really true or not, right? And see, nothing comes back. That's what we call it, the white screen of death. The website is not saying 404 not found. It's just basically not doing anything. That's what the white screen of death is. So obviously you couldn't blog to that right now because it's not responding. This site is okay for status, and it tells me where it's hosted, and it has to be WordPress, first of all. But I don't have my credentials in that blog, and auto replenish is not required, but that means like you can automatically have a blog happen like every 3 months for a blog, just in case you forgot about it. In other words, you have a domain and you say like, oh, we haven't written a blog for 3 months. Let's let AI just write one for us. That's what auto replenish means, so that your blog never goes too far without having, your blog site doesn't go too far without having a blog on it. So say, for example, if I didn't have my credentials here, I could just click edit. It would go to that domain and I can put in my credentials, and then I would be able to do a blog to that site from the AI. So that is the batch request. The next section is domain reports. Now, these are all actually, the way I normally get to them is like this. I will go up here to just domains. I'll show you. And we'll do like Hebrew Garden. And where is it? I should have typed in Hebrew G. I never had that many websites. Okay, this one. So when I'm on this page, this is where we define everything we know about the domain. And then at the very bottom, there are links here to basically all those reports that you see over here under domain reports. So normally I go to the domain first, and then I'll just jump between these screens as desired. So here I'm going to go to Uptime, and you can see basically we check your website again every 3 hours or 5 minutes, depending if you want to pay for the extra cost of the 5-minute monitoring. And then there's various graphs on here that says like, okay, when it wasn't available, what errors did we get? This is your response time, how fast it responded, and like how many seconds and so on. And then this is response time over history. So you can see we got like a 2-second response time from that website, which is really not that good. And I should probably look at that. So at the bottom of this screen, you also have the exact same link. So now I can go to SEO stats. And now you can see my domain authority, my majestic text trust flow, and Ahrefs will only show up here if you enter that data. We do not automatically fetch that data. It wasn't available to us without subscribing to their very expensive API. And we just added recently SE rankings, and that will be on here in about a week or so from now. And that one will be automatic. Here you have something called the SEO experiment, where you can say like, oh, I want to increase the trust flow on this site. So I ordered a service from one of the service providers, and he said within 60 days he would raise the trust flow 10 points or whatever. And so you can basically enter that information, who you bought it from, how much it cost, and then you can set yourself a reminder, say in 60 days or 30 days, whatever he promised, did my trust flow really go up? And then if it did, you say, oh, that was a good provider, I might want to order with him additional services. Yeah, here's our weekly history. We get the SEO stats only once a week, usually a Thursday night, Friday morning, depending on your time zone. And this is where you can add Ahrefs if you want to. So if you were a subscriber to Ahrefs, you can just go on that website and you can paste in the values here, and you can also track that. Now we're going to go to Uptimes. We did Uptimes already. We're going to go to Analytics. And this is only if you have the Google API set up with us. You have to have your an authentication set up for that. And you can see how many page hits how many users I'm getting per day, what pages are more popular, all this kind of information. Which countries are hitting my website. See, that's interesting. Brazil is bigger than US. Interesting. And now I'm going to go to SnapShots. And we take a screenshot of your home page, basically also I think once a week. And if it's significantly different, we rate a score like 0 to 100. So like these two are 100% similar. These two are only 56% similar. And that I think just had to do with the timing of that little icon there. So if your page got hacked, it would be like similarity would probably be 0, and it would be real obvious that your page got hacked. Now we're going to go to page links. And this is where we show either your inbound or your outbound links from your website. And we also we're working with, we have the API with seranking.com, where we're going to go get all your backlinks again once a week and store it in our database. So that is that part. So that's basically what these reports here are. So actually I'm going to end this video here because I've already gone like 7-8 minutes. So we're going to continue going down the menu structure in the next video.